everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Sabbat that is happening currently, and that is the spring equinox or spring equinox, otherwise known as the vernal equinox or Ostara. And the spring equinox is basically when the daylight hours and the nighttime hours are equal in duration. So it's the equal point between the duration of the day and the duration of the night, right before we start to get more daylight than nighttime hours. So because it's the start of the daylight that we have increasing, it's really a time for reflecting on our own inner light and bringing that light to the fore, bringing your light out, just as we're about to get more light in. So, the associations of this time of year and this Sabbat are the element of air, and air corresponds with the direction of east, and obviously the direction of east is where the sun rises, so you can really think of the spring equinox as being like the dawning of a new day, and the dawning of a new year. I mean, obviously our year starts in January, but in terms of the astrological year, this is the start of the new year because we've gone back to the first sign of Aries now. So this really is a time of freshness, newness, potential and hope. So we've got the air, we need to open our windows, let all of the fresh air in, get rid of all that stagnant energy that was hanging around from winter, and really prepare for your days to be more filled with light and more filled with happiness after the winter. And in terms of the activities that people like to do on the spring equinox, obviously there's a lot of emphasis on thinking about planting seeds, going out into the garden, doing some gardening, planting some seeds, and plant your intentions for the rest of the year, and then you can watch them grow through the summer. But the spring equinox is really about planting those seeds. So planting seeds, thinking about the potential for the year ahead, and this is often symbolised by an egg, either a chocolate egg or a real egg. Obviously we have Easter coming up soon as well, and it's very much linked with the spring equinox, with the tradition of eggs and so on, because eggs represent just the potential of new life that we've got at the minute. And I think that this Sabbat has fallen at a really good time because obviously we're all feeling very worried at the minute, and it's nice to know that life does go on. Even in these troubled times, life does go on, and we still have hope, we still have new life, we still have baby animals wandering around, we still have flowers blooming and all of these lovely new things. So that's why the activities with the spring equinox are often centred around looking forward to the new light and new life ahead of us. And as a contrast to that, I suppose, is the clearing of your space and doing a lot of spring cleaning, just so that you can really start anew and start afresh. It's all about this new energy of Aries coming in and making sure that you're ready for the energy that brings with it, the strong energy that Aries brings with it. So clearing out all of the old and getting ready to let in all of the new, and we're being filled with hope and promise of spring, new life and new possibilities. So in terms of clearing your space and bringing your space basically to a more neutral energy that isn't so filled with negative energy, so that you can bring more positive energy in the summer, one of the ways that you can get to that place is obviously by doing things like smudging. So lighting sage, wafting it around your house, that is really good for resetting the energies of the place, so that you can think about letting more positivity in. And I think especially now, cleansing your house probably be a good idea, especially if you've had anyone being ill in the house. It can get rid of those lower frequency energies that that person would be carrying. And as I said, we've all been worrying quite a lot, so it would be a nice idea to really do some smudging and cleanse our homes of this negative and worrisome energy that might have got in. So another thing that you can do is actually start a new exercise routine, because the spring equinox is all about the new energy. When you look at baby rabbits, they're literally bouncing around, they've got so much energy, baby lambs, and flowers blooming with great enthusiasm. And I think we can just feel that in the core of our beings as well, this awakening of new energy, and we can put that towards maybe being healthier and just getting started with a new exercise routine, perhaps using that energy and channeling it towards something positive, because there is a lot of energy around at the time. There's a lot of excitement, and we can use that towards positive ways or negative ways. So I think a good way to positively use it is obviously through exercise, cleaning, and just being productive. Now, because the spring equinox as a Sabbat is about the equality between day and night, hence equinox, we can really think about the energies of duality at this time and balancing the duality and polarities between us. Obviously, everyone has energies of both masculine and feminine within them, dark and light and so on. So before we get into the summer and really embracing the fullness of the light and the life that is coming, I think it can be a good idea to reflect on the dark side as well, or just any of the polarities that we feel within ourselves, and really helping to balance them out, just like the balance of day and night that is happening at this time. Another thing you can do is basically set up your altar in a way that acknowledges the fact that it's the spring equinox now. So I myself have set up my altar a bit differently now. I've got lots of pastel colours, happy colours, lots of flowers like daisies, little flowers that are blooming at the minute. I've picked some of them and decorated my altar with them. And I have different cards from different oracle decks that I have that I feel represent the season of spring. I've got the green man and the green woman. I've got the Fool from the tarot deck. And the reason why I think the Fool is a good card for this time of year is because, as I said, it's a fresh new start in terms of astrology, and it's a fresh new start in terms of all of the new life that is blooming. And when life first starts, it has that kind of Fool energy. And by that I don't mean foolish per se, but I mean starting out on a new journey and being, I guess, very innocent and happy, because we don't know what is to come with life yet. So innocent, happy, and filled with hope. And if you look at the Fool here, he's like walking along, looking very happy and I guess blissfully unaware of the cliff, which is the negative side of this card. But the sun's shining down and the dog is barking. There's lots of life, lots of energy, and lots of potential for the journey that he's about to go on. So this is the first card in the entire tarot deck, and just like how the spring equinox for me is really the start of the year, as I said, in an astrological sense, if no other way. So I've got the Fool there on my altar. So you may also find it helpful to redecorate your altar to give it that springtime energy, so that whenever you go to your altar to do your spiritual practice, meditate in front of it, you're keeping in mind the spiritual properties of the spring equinox. So I just thought of some other things you could do with your altar. The reason for the pastel colours is, if you think about dawn, it's a very pastel-y time of day, and so with the pastel colours you're representing the dawning of a new day, the dawning of a new spring, a new summer, a new year, and just really taking the optimism of those colours and just the dawn energy. And you can also place feathers on your altar to represent the element of air, represent all the little baby birds that are being born, the eggs. Yeah, you can have real eggs, paint them, chocolate eggs, anything you like would be great for the spring equinox altar at the minute. Another thing you can do to celebrate this time is, of course, go out in nature, look for the signs of spring, look for any bluebells that might be happening, snowdrops, daffodils, daffodils, or is that, yeah, I get confused between daffodils and dandelions, so just checking I got that right. And obviously just look out for all the new animals that might be scampering around, and really admiring how cute they are and how much it fills you with hope to see these things. As I said, we're at a time where everything feels quite doom and gloom in the media and everything like that. So just going out in nature and recognising the reality that this time, this spring equinox time, is actually a time that is filled with hope, so you can really renew your spirit and restore your faith in the world. And really, what better time for the Sabbath to fall on than right now, because I think we all could use a good positive distraction at the moment. So I'm very happy, I'm very excited because this is a very exciting time of year, and I'm going to use the positivity of the spring equinox to take my mind off some of the dark things that have been happening recently, because obviously it's not good for anyone to worry too much. So we do need some of that lightheartedness to come back into us, and that will actually help us to stay healthy. If you're happy in your mind, it's more likely that your body will be healthy. So I do think it is a good thing for us to focus on the positives, basically, and how positive the spring equinox is as a Sabbath, because as I said, it's all about optimism, freshness, happiness, energy, fertility as well, because we're talking about rabbits very fertile, as I said, lots of energy, and baby bunnies particularly, and really it's just a time of hope, perhaps more so than any other Sabbath. The spring equinox is about hope, equality between the dark and light, really taking a moment in that still point between the days getting longer and the nights getting shorter, taking that moment to reflect and just look forward to all of the blessings and abundance that are going to happen as the weather gets even warmer. So with that, I hope that this video has helped to lighten the mood, given you some hope, and basically just enjoy the energy of the Sabbath, because it really is one of my favourites, and I want us to be able to spend some time thinking about that, as well as obviously just being anxious. I think it's good if we take some time to remember our spirituality and remember all of the light and joy that that gives to us. So with that, thank you very much for watching my video. Next video will probably be on one of the moon phases, and I'm very much looking forward to the next Sabbath that's coming up, which will be Beltane. So as I said, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all again very soon.